Welcome back, everyone, to what is probably the most anticipated match of today. This is HYDRA Reloaded versus Triumvirate. I'm CCB Fozzie, joined once again by Sir Squeebles, and this is day 2 of the 12th Alliance tournament. On Hydra's side, you see there on your screen actually definitely my favorite tournament ship of all time. This is a ship that's near and dear to my heart, the Sleipnir. And HYDRA Reloaded has decided to bring a Sleipnir rush that I'm sure they know how to fly very, very well. It's triple Sleipnir, Scimitar, Kitsune, double Celestis, double Mollusk, triple Heretic, tons of dams, and then the Sleipnir core to deal all their damage. And Triumvirate's brought something a little bit more standard. Why don't you tell us a bit about that, Sir Squeebles?
Yeah, I'm not sure how well they can pilot it, but I am very impressed by their setup with 3 Vexor Navy issues, 3 normal Vexors, an Eos and an Oniros for the DPS and the Logi, and then you've got 1 Mollusk, 1 Carries, a Malediction, and an Ishkur. And I am a huge fan, as much as you like Sleipnirs actually this year. I really enjoy the Vexor Navy issue, so definitely a lot of potential with this hull, and I look forward to seeing it because really it's a nice set of ships to bring into something like a Slep Rush.
Yeah, I think it is actually a pretty good matchup for Tri to get. Tri has brought a setup that fits much more easily into the meta of the tournament so far. Mollusk already off the field for Tri.
My goodness.
Carries down as well. Incredibly fast these first couple kills.
That is definitely the Heretics coming through with just insane alpha against the frigates, and I think we've talked these up, myself and other commentators, but man, these Heretics are terrifying. If you're sitting in a frigate and there are Heretics that are parked on the other side of the beacon here, you've got to be nervous because it doesn't matter really what you're flying. With 3 Heretics, you're going to go quick.
Well, what's been killing those frigates is actually the Sleipnirs, which are fitting artillery. These are arty Sleipnirs at long range to alpha through any reps on frigates, and they're doing a great job at that task, as they're already eating quickly through this Vexor Navy issue as well. Poor God.
I was wondering actually how the volleys reached across the field that quick, so now the question becomes, can you still technically call it a rush if they're artillery fit?
Yes, I think this is definitely, we wouldn't generally call it a rush in this case. The Sleipnirs, instead it's definitely more of a damp control setup. You keep your range, you damp out the opponents, and you're seeing almost no damage coming across the field to HYDRA Reloaded. They're playing this essentially perfectly. The damp icons all the way across the Triumvirate side means that they're having a very hard time choosing where their drones go.
Yeah, this is amazing. Like the artillery Sleipnir definitely has potential, but it's also very risky. They've paired it with those Celestis, which are piloting absolutely amazingly, and they're applying their damps on the DPS hulls. The funny thing about their control setup is that hypothetically, if piloted well, it should be countered by drones. As we talked about before, you have the assist mechanic, and you only have to activate your drones once, and they'll stick to that target. Even so, they're still mitigating all of the damage, not just some of the damage. They're mitigating all of the damage from this drone setup with 2 Celestis. Nothing short of sort of Hydra level PvP here. Super impressive, not really a huge shock, but it's still a heck of a lot of fun to watch.
This is probably a setup that would have been a bit more risky last year when the drone meta was more heavily focused on sentry drones. They can reach across the field and track these Sleipnirs really well, and they can easily be assigned back and forth. But like most of the drone setups this year, Triumvirate has been relying on heavy drones instead. And of course, the Vexor Navy issues don't have the ability to field 2 waves of drones. They can't bring sentries and heavy drones. They have to bring one or the other. That means that HYDRA is able to burn around the field and waste a lot of time while the drones chase down their Sleipnirs.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the stream now. Yeah, so HYDRA banned the Vargur and the Golem. And at first glance, you'd think like maybe a Tinker wouldn't be ideal. And definitely for the alpha that they're looking to output, that makes sense. But any other reasons they would want to avoid a Golem and a Vargur specifically with this setup? I
mean, even outside of a Tinker, any Marauder is going to be dangerous because the Marauder is completely invulnerable to the damps. So their game plan is all about keeping range of the Sleipnirs, which are going to be faster than most of their opponents, and then damping out all of the DPS and especially logistics, things like that. But the fact that Marauders are completely immune to the damps means they'd be able to reach out across the field and use their extra DPS over an arty Sleipnir to cause a pretty big problem. They'd be able to take down that Scimitar probably pretty quickly.
I would almost argue though that baiting another team into investing that many points in a golem, I mean, realistically, or a Vargar for that matter, but realistically, either if they kited this effectively and they damped out the non-E-War immune ships on field, which is presumably everything else, it seems like maybe they could talk people into investing too many points in a Marauder that is the only thing that can apply DPS. Clearly, they know what they're doing, but since we have nothing to discuss except for the dunkage happening on field right now, and this last EOS, he's low, and here we go. Hold on.
Yeah,
waiting.
The last volleys of missiles come in from those heretics.
And boom goes
there
the
he
dynamite.
goes. So a very, very quick dismantling of Triumvirate from HYDRA Reloaded. Try bringing what is a very solid setup, and they seem to be piloting it just fine, but HYDRA demonstrating that they are a step ahead of most of these other tournament teams. This is a very, very convincing performance from them. And that, we're going to send you back to the studio for some ads and then be back for our final match of the day, No Holes Barred versus Revolution.